right beside the fire. Can't deny it, bout it, and I be the livest. Can't you see I'm doing okay? Now every time that I see him, I just say I'm doing okay. I hope that's alright with you though.
Thank you for being here. I know that's weird to say because I kind of begged all of you to be here, you know? Like, it kind of feels like I threw my own birthday party and I was like, if you don't come, I'm gonna kill myself, you know? And then you showed up and I'm like, oh my God, you love me? This is crazy. I guess I don't have to use this. You know, I put the gun away. I'm excited that you decided to come out and spend money, okay? Because I get it, things are expensive, right? The economy is bad, I understand. I realized the economy was bad when I found out that the woman who delivers my mail is hot, okay? Does that make sense to anyone? Like, hot people never used to have to do anything, right? Definitely not during the Clinton era, that's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? And now she's giving me invites to weddings I'm never gonna go to. That sucks for her, that's tough. And like, not just hot for a woman who's delivering mail, like supermodel level hot. Like, she's so hot, she should be on a boat getting her back rubbed by an NBA owner, you know what I mean? Or bare minimum hot enough that she should be getting her toes sucked by an NBA player, right? Maybe on a jet ski somewhere, I don't know. She should be on water, that's how hot she is. She should be on water. And then, but it's not just her. Like, clap if you identify as hot in here. Anybody? Okay, that's what I had in my notes. It's one person, perfect. Great. If you identify as hot, I'm sorry for your struggle right now. It's hard for all of you, I get it. I'm an ally, I'm here for you, let's talk about it, okay? If you identify as hot, it's tough out here. I saw a woman online, I was on OnlyFans. I saw a woman on OnlyFans, and she was selling content on OnlyFans, which is what you do there, and then she added something that I thought was a little bit interesting. She goes, hey, thanks for buying the content. Remember, every cent you donate to me goes to my very expensive epilepsy medication. That's what she said. Yeah, you're bummed out? Imagine how I felt. I'm hard and crying? This sucks. I came here to get off, not be a hero. That's how bad the economy is? You can't just show your titties for cash anymore? You have to be like, also I'm dying? That's a lot, that's a lot. If the economy's that bad, I don't want to bring a child into the world if the economy is gonna be this bad. I don't want to do that, right? Because that's tough. Because what if I have a kid, and someday that kid grows up and they want to be in adult films, right? I want them to do it for love of the game, okay? I want them to do it because they love getting taken to Pound Town, okay? Not because they need insulin. I don't know. Got some kind of a girl dad. I don't have kids. I don't know if I'm unsure if it's possible for me to have a child. I've had too many Pop-Tarts to say confidently that I could have. I just feel like I'm riddled with microplastics. We're all riddled with microplastics, okay? That's true. There was a study, 100% of the men who took the study, they found microplastics in their semen. Yeah. Okay. That was one of the guys from the study. He's like, isn't this a violation of HIPAA? I don't understand. They told me it would be private. I don't know, people get bummed out about that, but I'm not sure you should, because to me that means I don't have a dick, I have a 3D printer, okay? That rules, I love that. You're telling me if I get bored I can just come out of Lego Village? That's awesome. If I get depressed I can just jerk off a gun? That's cool, I like that. Okay, maybe I'm a little weird, whatever. Good to be here. Love Minnesota. Love doing comedy in Minnesota. I do comedy in a lot of different places, and they always ask what Minnesota's like, and I tell them the same thing every time. I say, Minnesota, it's just Wakanda for white people. That's it, okay? But instead of Wakanda forever, they go, is that ranch too spicy? That's it. That's all it is. Only difference. The Midwest is sick. Love the Midwest. The Midwest is crazy because people here don't just drink, they drown their demons, right? Like, no, okay, a hush falls over the room. No one goes harder than a Midwesterner in the middle of February. You know what I mean? It's just like a different vibe. And you know that. I know people in the Midwest drink a lot because it's the only place I've ever been where if you're not drinking, people just automatically assume you're pregnant, right? Regardless of gender, you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I identify as a man. I have a penis, I don't have a uterus. And still they're like, oh, that's weird because I see a big old pussy standing in front of me. You know? I'm like, Grandma, what the fuck? What are we doing here? I don't understand. Now I gotta get my second DUI so my Mima doesn't think I'm a bitch. Buckle up. I live in Minneapolis, and oftentimes people will be like, ooh, Minneapolis, hellscape, war zone. Should I stay away? Yes, don't come. Just be, you don't need to be here. That's totally fine. I'm scared of Minneapolis, but for different reasons than everybody else is scared of Minneapolis, okay? I'm scared of Minneapolis because this happened to me once, okay? I was walking downtown by myself late at night, and I'm very pretty. We all know this, okay? And I heard a young white man go, let's frickin' go! And I got nervous. I got scared. That's gunshots for your boy, okay? I hit the deck. I'm like, I should have never came to this Dave Matthews concert. I'm a good kid. I don't need to be here. So yeah, I'm kind of from the streets. You know, I don't want to make fun of like Let's Go Bros too badly because everyone's like, oh, they're so dumb, they're stupid. And like, for sure, but like, I'm a comedian. I'm also stupid, okay? I have dumb opinions. Like, here's one. I think if you have pretty feet, you shouldn't be poor, all right? I see some people with ugly toes in here not laughing, okay. I think if you have pretty feet, you shouldn't be poor. Like, when an unhoused guy comes up to me and is like, hey, bro, can you spare $5? I'm like, let me see them little piggies first. How about that? Do you need $5 or do you need a webcam, all right? We don't know. Doesn't matter, Bubbles. I'm your manager now, all right? You said you're hungry. Let's go get this bread. Come on, dog. I also believe in time travel. That's the thing I believe in. Okay, time travel. Okay, calm down. That's so hurtful. How dare you? I believe in time travel, and my buddy was like, Ben, if you could time travel back to any era, what era would you time travel back to? And I was like, bro, I'm black. What are you talking about? Go back? Go back? Are you kidding me? I'm not going back past the Drake-Kendrick beef. That's as far as I go. And that's only because I know who won, right? I feel safe in that space. I'm not going back. This is gonna be racial, but I gotta be honest. I feel like time travel is white people shit. I'm gonna say it right now. Sending food back, kissing dogs on the mouth, time travel. That's white people. As a black person, I'm only time traveling forward, okay? I'm only going ahead in time. And that's just to see what happened to all the people who took Ozempic, all right? I want to know, how many arms do you have now? Should I go back in time and take it? You tell me, you know. But that's okay too. I'm a big boy, all right? I'm a thick bitch, all right? I'm gonna say it right now. It's weird when you're a big dude because your thing is on the outside. Like, everyone addresses me by the thing I'm the most insecure about, right? So I was like, hey, big fella, big man, big papa. I'm like, not big papa, that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's tough. That's hard as a big guy. I will tell you that right now, okay? Because I can't do that for other people whose things are on the inside, right? Does that make sense? Like, I can't come up to you guys and be like, oh, micro penis, okay. Labia's too big, watch out. Uh-oh, who's that? Only sibling who didn't get molested. You know, like, I can't. So maybe just call me Ben, okay? Let's start with that. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up in a place with a lot of conservative people, so sometimes people from my past will hit me up and they'll say crazy stuff. And there's a time, I will say, where people are like, you need to get rid of all the conservatives in your life. No more conservatives. We're not doing it. I'm like, for sure, but who's gonna give me money on Christmas? You know, like, what are we? I need that $50 from Uncle Kev every year. That really holds me over until New Year's, so. So I have a lot of conservatives in my life who will hit me up and talk to me, okay? And they'll say stuff like, hey, are you ready for the second Civil War? And I'm like, honestly, dog, I'm just excited that you admit there's a first one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll take that. I'm not worried about the second Civil War, okay? I'm worried the second Civil War is gonna be shirts versus skins. That's a problem for your boy, okay? I'll side with whatever team lets me wear a jersey, straight up. I don't care. I'll shoot at my brother, you let me cover my nips. He's only family, right? But I also have a lot of like leftist, socialist, liberal friends who are like, America's like the Titanic, and we're heading straight for an iceberg. We're heading straight for an iceberg. And I don't know if that's accurate either, because on the Titanic, they cared about women and children. You know, we don't do that here. Wow. Wow, what a hero. How brave I am. Minneapolis, something is amiss in the country. And I'm the only comedian brave enough to talk about it. Yeah, they did. On the Titanic, they cared about women and children, and you know, because they had an Irish guy who was like, women and children are first, right? And, okay, everyone... I realized that wasn't a good Irish accent. If anything, that was Jamaican at best. And if there's a Jamaican on the Titanic, that's a whole different ship. You know? That's not the Titanic, that's a Carnival cruise now. I love that. I'm going down with that bad boy. Just a Jamaican guy named Winston playing steel drums. I love that, that's cool. Women and children are first, bumba clock. I'm like, yes, sir, Winston, sir. He's like, don't do the accent back to me, that's racist, that's weird. People can get uptight when you say stuff about people not caring about women and children, whatever. I just think that's true. Like, look at what's going on in the country, okay? And here's the thing, again, have conservatives in my life. People who will say stuff like, hey, instead of having an abortion, you should just give your child up for adoption, okay? And what I need you to know is that I'm an adoptee, okay? And that feels bad. I don't like it when you say stuff like that. It's not like a cool thing to say to an adopted person. So here's what I think. I think if you're a person who believes that adoption is the alternative to abortion, your punishment should be that you have to adopt me specifically, okay? That's what I'd like. You want a brand new little baby boy? How about refurbished, okay? What about that? You get a mid-30s comedian who'll destroy your marriage and your toilet, all right? Doesn't feel good to not have a choice, does it? I am adopted. Anybody else adopted in here? Sick, perfect, cool. Wow, it's like I'm right back at the orphanage. Cool. They took everybody else on the last one? Beautiful. They say you do comedy to reach your people. Well, my people are busy, I guess, so this is good. Perfect. Like, we all come from healthy homes. What's it like being sad all the time? Oh, I'll tell you, okay? Okay, well, I'm adopted. I guess I'll never ask that question again. That's crazy. Not a single person, really? Like a broken home or anything? Did you get hit as a kid? I need something. Okay, don't answer that. All right, there you go. Thank you. Shout out to child abuse. Okay. Wow. Did we go off the rails? Absolutely. But now that we're here, let's get in the muck. Here we go, baby. Okay. I am adopted. I was adopted by white people. But don't worry, I'm free now. Everything's fine. Don't pray for me. We'll be okay. I was adopted by poor white people, though, which should be illegal. That's crazy. If you have to take a bus to the orphanage, you can't have a kid. That's my one rule, okay? You can't pick me up and be like, oh my God, he's adorable. Think he wants to split an Uber? You know, like that sucks. We don't like that. I will say this too. It's weird being a black dude who was raised by white people because it's easier to make fun of white people than it's ever been in my entire life. Someone goes, hard yes, absolutely. Get us, bitch. It's easier to make fun of white people than it's ever been in my entire life, but I can't even enjoy it because two white people saved me, okay? Yeah, so people are marching around right now and they're like, kill white! And I'm like, hell yeah, dog. But my mom is good, right? She couldn't find me a black barber. She doesn't deserve to die for that, okay? And like, yeah, I don't like some white people, sure, but other white people taught me how to jet ski. So what are we supposed to do here, you know? We gotta burn them all? What if they have a trampoline? I just wanna know what the rules are, right? Is there like a syllabus I can look at? I mean, I don't even know if that's the right way to use syllabus. Okay. I think one of the weirdest parts about being adopted is just that you know exactly how much money you're worth. It's kind of crazy, right? Like I can look and see, I'm like, oh shit, there's an adopted kid. That kid's worth as much as a house. That's crazy, right? Especially because I know for a fact that my parents paid $15,000 for me, okay? That is not house money. That is garage renovation at best, right? That's not a thing I can brag about to other adoptees, okay? And I know you're gonna get sad, but don't, okay? I know that I wasn't my parents' first choice for adoption, all right? I said don't get sad. Here's what happened. They tried to adopt a group of 3 Korean kids and the deal just fell through, right? Like they're trying to get Adderall from a college kid. That's my legacy. So now I just know how many Koreans I'm worth, right? And I don't know if 3 is a lot or a little, but I do know people at the bank get very uncomfortable when you ask, you know? Like, Walter, he's back, lock the doors, you know? Just give me the exchange rate, that's all I want. Here's the thing. The weirdest part about my family wasn't even being adopted, it was just that my parents wouldn't let us watch The Simpsons because they said that Bart Simpson would be a bad influence on us, okay? Okay. Is that a, like that happened to you too, or do you agree? Okay. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Well, not here for adoption, but here for The Simpsons. Perfect. Awesome. Great. Perfect. Awesome. As long as you were hurt a little as kids, we're good. We can be friends. So, yeah, they said that Bart Simpson would be a bad influence on us. So what we did instead was every night after dinner, we'd gather around the TV as a family and we'd watch Cops, all right? They were like, Bart Simpson, what a rascal. Now here's 55 minutes of people who look just like you getting the shit kicked out of them. Enjoy, you know? But they didn't know any better. They knew as much about raising a black kid then as I know about raising a bear right now, you know? What do? I feel like you just dress it adorably and hope it doesn't scare a state trooper, you know? That's what it is. Incredible joke. I can't believe you just paid $15 for that good-ass joke. That's incredible. And I want you to know, a lot of times when you tell people that you're adopted, they do a thing where they're like, oh. They make a little noise. They go, oh. It's like a door closing, you know, just like, oh. Just a door closing right on our relationship, you know. Oh, goodbye. You know, like that's what it is. And then the second thing they do is they go, do you go to therapy? Okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't go to therapy, okay? But I know I should go to therapy just because of what I'd want in a therapist. Here's what I'm looking for. I'd like an older black woman who's strong but nurturing, who's from Atlanta, okay? Who gave me up for adoption, all right? I want my mom back, okay? When I was a kid, my birth mother wrote me a letter, and I got to read that letter when I was 17. And in that letter, she denoted why she's putting me up for adoption, okay? And here's the reason. She said she was already a single mom, so I have an older sister, I found out. And she was living at home with her mother while she was attending college to kind of better her life and better the lives of herself and her daughter. And she thought that putting me up for adoption would be the best way for everyone to have the lives that she felt like they deserved, okay? And that's great. I love hearing that. That's helpful for closure and made me feel good, okay? Unfortunately, in the first line of that letter, there was a typo, all right? She used the wrong form of two. She went TWO instead of TOO. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, so some mistakes you will keep. Honestly, we gotta start charging more for shows. This is good. This is good. This is better than therapy. This is great. All right, well, we'll switch gears a little bit. You're all okay. You're gonna be okay. Everyone made it. You're all fine. Yeah, it's good to be back in Minnesota. I'm from here originally. I have lived in New York for like the last 6 years, okay? And people, when you tell them that you live in New York, they're always like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen? And I'm like, well, you're eating and I don't want you to throw up on me, so I'll tell you like the 5th craziest thing, okay? The 5th craziest thing I've ever seen in New York City was I saw a very, very, very old black woman watching hardcore pornography on the train, okay? And you're like, how do you know she was watching porn? I'm like, well, she wasn't wearing headphones and she was using my phone, all right? So... check the browser history. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, you know. That was it. And as a passenger, I was appalled. How could you not be? That's disgusting, for sure. But as a black passenger, I was like, hell yeah, girl, get it. Good for you, you know? Because she's doing that. She's old enough and black enough that there's a time in her life where she couldn't even be on public transportation with white people, right? Now, not only is she on public transportation with white people, she also gets to come. That's pretty cool. That's what Dr. King would have wanted, I assume. I don't know. I didn't read all the text, okay? I know he had a dream. He didn't say how wet it was, okay? But we had to leave New York because there was an incident, okay? I accidentally rubbed bellies with a stranger. I was like, well, we both can't live here now. What happened was I was getting onto a crowded subway car, okay? And I was doing the big dude shuffle on. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, right? And he was another big guy, and he was doing that same thing getting off. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, right? And then we just kind of locked in right in the middle, you know? His Audi stuck in my innie, you know? Just like right in there, right? Body hairs entwined like we're avatars in love. 7 stops, just vibing. Awesome, incredible. Didn't even have to hold on to the handrail, just right here, you know? Just like, oh, this is cool, you know? Craziest part about it, I loved every second of it. It was incredible. It's the most intimate thing I've ever done in my entire life. So we moved because I didn't want to marry that guy. So now we live here, back in Minnesota. And I'm from here, like I said, and it's cool being back. I like being back. It is kind of weird being back because there's a lot of people I thought I would never see again because I hate them. And now we just shop at the same stores, and I just kind of have to deal with that. I'm from a very small town called Albany, Minnesota, all right? It's like 3,000, mostly white people. And some of those white people that I went to high school with, some of the white dudes I went to high school with specifically, some of my best friends to this day. Love those guys. In my wedding, awesome people, okay? Unfortunately, some of the other white dudes that I went to high school with, a little bit ignorant, to the point where they grow up to be kind of racist, to the point where they don't like black people, which feels personal because I'm the only one they know. So it's like, do you not like black people? Or do you not like me specifically? This feels like Ben, specifically Ben. And I think about those guys all the time. I'm like, yo, what are they doing with their lives, you know? Do they have a family? What precinct do they work for? Like, what's going on, you know? And what happens when my little small-town racists meet big city racists? Is that weird for them, right? Because they don't really know how to connect. They're not worldly like these other cool guys, you know? You don't want to be the nerd at a rally, right? Like, what, especially if the big city racists are talking shit about black people, how do my guys connect? Because all my guys know about black people came from me, and I'll be honest with you, I was a weird-ass kid, okay? When I was a kid, I used to read my mom's romance novels, right? We know the books, the ones where everyone on the front cover is just like a pirate, regardless of plot, okay? That was my shit. I'd sneak around and be like, I can't believe I'm getting away with this, you know? But I wasn't because I was like 7 and I was using words like voluptuous. and quivering. This is new. I don't do this a lot. This is fun. Just cupping the balls of an imaginary man. Ooh, they're quivering in my palms. As a 7-year-old, cupping a grown man's balls. Okay, here we go. One time I told my mom I had a predilection for macaroni and cheese, okay? That's the kind of kid I was. I still don't know what that word means. I have no idea how to use it in a sentence. I have no clue, right? She's like, yo, either you've been reading my books or you're a horny Civil War general. What's up? She knew she didn't care. That's good parenting. She's like, yes, my son might grow up to be a farmhand with a mysterious past. But this little pervert is reading at a 10th grade level. Let's see how this plays out. He might get a scholarship. Who knows? You know? I did not. I'm pantomiming cupping a man's balls on stage. She should have stopped me. She should have stopped me. Stop your kids from reading, okay? She should have stopped me just to make her life easier. Do you know how weird it is to be the parent of a kid who reads romance novels, right? She's strolling out to parent-teacher conferences. She's like, how's my boy doing? Yeah. You know, they're like, he's doing great in math. He's doing great in art. He did call me a supple harlot today. Maybe we'll work on that at home, okay? I read romance novels, I listened to nu metal, and I watched the show Gilmore Girls, all right? Okay. That's who I was. So that's all those guys know about black people, right? So when they're trying to relate to all these other big city racists, it's got to be tough for them. All the big city racists are hitting all the key plot points. They're like, oh, I'm tired of all these immigrants taking our jobs. I'm tired of all these Mexicans taking our women. Don't even get me started on these damn black people. And my guys are like, yeah, I'm tired of all these black people listening to System of a Down all the time. You know? You're a supple harlot, you know? And you know what? Quit quoting Gilmore Girls at us. Who's Lorelai? What does that mean? No, they're all right. They're all making more money than me. Okay. It is fun being back to see the friends that I do love and the friends I do care about and see how they've grown. That's interesting to me. I've learned a lot of new things about my friends. Like, for example, a lot of my friends just have guns, and I'm not anti-gun, but I am anti the excuses that my friends use for their gun ownership, right? Because they'll say stuff like, oh, I just need this to protect my family. I just need this to protect my kids. And I know that's not true because they let me babysit. You know what I mean? You don't care. If you cared, you let a professional 13-year-old do this, right? Instead, here I am, high on mushrooms. We're all laughing at Paw Patrol right now. You know? I'm like, yo, this shit's pretty good, actually. Turn it up, dude. And when I babysit, I get a list of things I need to know, and you know it's never on that list? The code to the gun safe, right? Never once is it bedtime's at 8:30, Braden's got a peanut allergy. Also, if you feel a little bit nervous or you feel like your freedom's being infringed upon, the code is 1776. We the people, right? My favorite part about that joke is that at least 5 of you are going to have to change the code to your gun safe now. How did he know? We didn't have guns in my house when I was growing up. When I was a kid, my parents just tried to protect us with the Power song. That was it, right? Has anyone here ever heard of the No No Square song? Yeah, okay, hell yeah. So if you don't know, it's a song you're supposed to sing as a child. If you're ever in stranger danger, you sing the song, and it's supposed to scare away the child predator, okay? Yeah, because you know how pedophiles are notoriously terrified of music, right? Like, what is that, a tune? And here's how the song goes. We'll sing, okay? If you know and you want to sing it, you can sing with me. Oh, all right. Look at this. It goes, stop. Don't touch me there. These are my no-no squares, right? And then you cover up whatever's a no-no to you, right? One of these? I don't know. What are you? I was a toga. I was like, not till dad is 18. Check out my OnlyFans. Okay. And there's multiple verses to the song. Kids learn a bunch of different verses. Here's one I heard. It goes, S-T-O-P, keep your penis off of me, okay? Which is good advice. If you have a penis, keep it off of most things and you'll be okay. But why are there multiple verses? Why is there a second verse? These kids barely know the alphabet. Now they got to know a hook? That's crazy. We couldn't teach them 911 or just say fire, right? They had to learn Stairway to Heaven. That's nuts to me, all right? But I think we can agree that song slaps. That's a banger. We like that. That's a good song, right? That's a good song. That song's so good that if I heard it on the radio, I'd turn that shit up. Absolutely. That song's so good that if I found out that Kanye wrote it, I'd forgive him a little bit, okay? I'm just gonna... Okay. Lost the entire room. Perfect. My big day and you abandoned me again. All right, here we go. However you feel about Kanye, you can admit this. You can admit one thing, okay? He is teaching people a valuable lesson, right? And that lesson is, not all black people are cool, okay? Think you forgot. I told you, I used to read romance novels. We're not all there, you know? I'm a millennial. I got to talk about Kanye a little bit. You know, that's just what it is. I am a millennial. Any millennials in here? Clap if you're a millennial. Hell yeah. We're never going to retire. Woo! This is all we have. This is what I tell people. I say I'm a millennial in the streets, Gen Z in the sheets. You know what I'm talking about? All right, get out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. No one's looking me in the eye. Okay. Millennial in the streets, Gen Z in the sheets. By that I mean I've got a lot of big ideas, no clue how to execute them. All right? That's what it is. And don't get uptight. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm a boomer in the sheets, 100%. I'm a boomer in the sheets because my dick doesn't work and I miss my friends. Okay? That's all. Staring straight ahead, not making eye contact with anyone older than me. Okay. I don't know. I feel like sexually I'm not the person I thought I was going to be. Wow, what a crazy sentence. Yeah. Just really giving you a lot of myself right now. Sexually, I'm not the person that I thought I was going to be because I read those books. I read those romance novels and I thought that would translate, and it didn't, right? Like, my expectations for sex were so messed up. I remember the first time I ever got laid, I was so confused. I was like, why are we doing this on a bed, okay? This is something that's meant to be done behind a barn on a haystack, right? And I remember being pissed when I'm like, I have to tear my own dress off? What's happening right now? I thought you loved me. But I'm getting better. I'm working on it. I'm trying, okay? Like, I just started calling my girl daddy, all right? Like, to be fair, it's not sexual. It's just that she taught me how to shave and I'm worried she's gonna leave. But whatever, you know? And like, we're into choking, but it's just to limit my night eating for sure. We do the fuzzy handcuffs, but they're just on the fridge. You understand? You get it. When I proposed, my girl said she didn't want me to buy her a ring. All she wanted was her great-grandma's ring, which is dope, because then all I had to do was kill her great-grandma, you know? Just a little right down the steps. And I have my own blood diamond for free. That's not a bad deal. I like that. One of my favorite things to tell people about my wife is that she has two very different celebrity crushes, okay? One is Idris Elba, right? We know him. Hot, black, British, in The Office, in The Wire, and a bunch of other stuff, right? Idris Elba. That's a good first-round draft pick. Two is Kevin James. Do you know Kevin James in here? Paul Blart Mall Cop? The King of Queens? The thick white dude from Hitch? That's her number 2 draft pick. So I'm assuming the first time she ever laid eyes on me, she was like, perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. This is crazy. Can't believe you just fell into my lap and literally took my breath away. This is incredible. She's like, ooh, I hope he has sleep apnea. Oh, girl, do I. You know? We get along really well. We love each other a lot. We did get in a big fight when my wife decided that she was going to go to Las Vegas without me to go see Usher, all right? Yeah. Feels like you've lost someone too, huh, brother? Yes. Damn, I miss Shonda, you know? She went to Las Vegas without me to go see Usher, and I was fine with it, but then I told a friend that my girl was going to Vegas to go see Usher, and my friend goes, oh, are you nervous? I was like, about Usher? And she dead ass looked me in the eye and was like, yeah, about Usher. And then I got worried about Usher. Okay, I was like, yo, is Usher gonna bang my wife? What does he do here? Like, what's happening? And I looked into it, and it turns out Usher's like this notorious homewrecker. We know this now. I didn't know this at the time, okay? He's a notorious homewrecker. He's got this residency in Las Vegas where he's like on roller skates because he's rich, I guess. I don't know what they have to do with anything. And he like sings all the hits, and then he skates up to married women in the front row and just feeds them like fresh fruit. And then they're like, I'm gonna leave my husband. I'm like, oh, that math doesn't really add up, but okay. And he does this all the time, and people like truly change their lives because Usher skated up to them and fed them. And I was like, I can't have that. I don't want my girl to get fed by Usher and then leave me, okay? I'm not ready for that emotionally. And I didn't know how to handle it, so I was taking a bunch of deep breaths, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, you gotta relax, you gotta chill. Okay, I was like, all right, okay. If my girl goes to Las Vegas, Nevada, and has sex with R&B singer Usher Raymond, she is not my wife anymore. She's my hero. That's incredible. That's so cool. No, I'm not mad at you. That's a great pull for you, all right? You didn't have sex with Usher. We just had sex with Usher, all right? Come here and give me a kiss. I want to know what a Grammy tastes like. The only person I'll ever be mad at my girl for sleeping with would be conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. That's the only person. And it's not because of his beliefs. It's like, yo, if you're gonna have sex with a big sweaty broke dude, you could have stayed home, okay? He doesn't love you, I love you. But I'll be honest, I would be jealous. Like, she gets to have sex with her favorite singer. She gets to have sex with her favorite singer. I can't do that because R. Kelly's still in jail. So I don't know. I feel like people are like, would you really let your wife do that? I'm like, I don't know, I don't really care. I have a PlayStation, she can do whatever she wants. Like, whatever. I'm trying to be like a more open person. Like, I'm trying to be doing all these things. It's tough. Like, I'll be honest with you, crowd, okay? I've never even had my ass eaten, all right? I've never had my ass eaten. Saying it. Okay, you all hate me now. Okay, perfect. Like, we thought you were cool. I've never had my ass eaten, all right? But it's not because I'm a prude. It's because I'm a big boy, all right? Like I said before, I'm a thick bitch, okay? I'm worried that someone's going to go in there and come back different. Do you understand? Like a Chilean miner or a Thai soccer team, you know? It's covered in dust and PTSD looking for their parents. They are not back there, brother. And let's be honest, flat-ass people never feel this joke, you know? Flat-ass people don't know what that's like. They're like, oop, be careful back there, you might lose a nose ring. But if you got a big ass, you're like, yo, be careful back there, you might forget who you are. It's just different over here, that's all I'm saying, okay? I will say, we did make some progress because this happened the other day. The other day, my wife and I decided that we were gonna have morning sex, okay? Thank you. You should say congratulations. Awesome. Good job. You did it. The other day, my wife and I decided that we were going to have morning sex. And the time for the morning sex came, and my girl turned to me and she goes, baby, are you sure? I don't want you to be late for work. I don't want you to be late for work. And I hit her with this. I go, baby, I want you so bad, I don't care how late I am for work. That's what I said. That's pretty good. You should write that down. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I said, baby, I want you so bad, I don't care how late I am for work. And then I was 15 minutes early for work. That's tough. You ever been so bad at sex you're good at your job now? Has that ever happened to you before? Sitting at my desk in the dark, my boss walks in, he's like, you're here. And I'm like, shut up, Todd, you know? I held out as long as I could. One whole Usher song, you know? Yeah, I do have to work, and it sucks. I hate working. It's bad. And... Hot take, comedian hates working. One time I was temping, and I told this rich dude that I was temping for that I didn't own a suit, and he's like, what? How could you not? That's crazy. Are you kidding? I was like, bro, if you think that's crazy, you're gonna lose your mind when you realize how much of this outfit is held together by tape, okay? It's the entire thing, you know? And you're gonna be furious when you realize how much of that tape I stole from your office. I'm so sorry. complained about having to work, and I had a buddy who's trying to make me think more positively about it. He's like, hey man, what you gotta remember is your ancestors came to this country on ships. I was like, bad start, what? It's Tuesday, what are we doing here? And he kept going, he was like, and they had to fight and scratch and claw for every single thing that they got just so you could get that cushy office job you're complaining about. I was like, damn. When you put it like that, it's pretty fucked up that I have to work at all, don't you think? What? They came on ships? Why am I getting up before noon? What is this country? And I will say, however you feel about slavery, and there is a wrong way to feel, okay? If you're not gonna give black people reparations for slavery, you at least have to start paying us overtime for making weddings more fun, right? We deserve that. I don't need 40 acres and a mule. You know what I could use? Time and a half for teaching your horny aunts how to nay-nay, right? All right, you guys have been incredible. I've been Ben Katzner. Thank you so much.
When it comes to love, I'm the maybe kinda sorta type. When I get bored, not the Lorda type. T-shirt, solid white, hungry with an appetite, order twice. Know I need protection, so I think I'll hit the Lord tonight. Free throw, Jordan like airbound cheer sounds. Just to get to heaven, boy, I gotta take the stairs down, stupid high. All the ladies show a Pisces. Love felt supreme for what hype beast was. Can you fathom on some days I'm feeling like God's gift? Could've been so many things, yet I'm all listen up. Drive that could fill up 3-whole garage. Just a bright mind, dark skin, staying out the law's grip. Can't you see I'm doing okay? Yeah. Anytime I come through, you can see I'm doing okay. I'm with my people in the building, you can see we all okay.